Good morning, y'all. Well, it is day 61, and I am leaving Wilson Creek Shelter, and I am going to go about 17 miles today to Middle Creek Campground, which, unbeknownst to me, was a 2 or 3 miles off trail, but they have a shuttle. They'll pick you up and take you down to the campground, and they can do laundry, and there's a restaurant and a whole bit, so kind of makes it nice. So yeah, and get a shower as well. So that's the plan today, and it was chilly mornings, 41 degrees, so definitely cool things off with that rain that came in yesterday. And I think today's highs are only in the 60s, so that's better than 89. So yeah, that's our plan today. Pretty day, and not too far, 17 miles. And I'm trying to stay in that 15 to 20 range going forward. There may be some days I can do over 20 again down the line, but just looking at the map, looks like there's a lot of ups and downs going to slow me down. So I'm just averaging 15 miles a day. That's what I'm trying to do right now, and that would include Neros and zeros as well. So let's get going. So the interesting area around these parts are the 3 separate mountains of Sharp Top, Flat Top, and Harkening Hill. And they make up the Peaks of Otter. And the archaeological evidence shows that Native Americans have been hunting and traveling in this area for at least 8,000 years. The European settlers arrived here in the mid-1700s. And the strange name may have come from the Cherokee word Otari, which means high places, or it could be named after a nearby Otter River because of a population of otters. But probably it came from the Ewing brothers, who named it after their family clan name back in Scotland, the Clan Ewing of Otter. And interestingly, the Peaks of Otter was also the northern boundary of the Great Cherokee Nation that I've been talking about for the last 2 months. And the area also served as a waypoint for travelers in the 1800s, and eventually big hotels arrived to accommodate all these vacationers into the 20th century. And still today, there's actually a lodge up on the mountains. But many members of the community left the area as tourism became the main focus, especially after the federal government purchased all this surrounding land in 1935 for the creation of the new Blue Ridge Parkway. So this is one of those perfect examples of dislocation and isolation of the mountain farmers and their communities caused by effects of modernization and social change. Hey y'all, so day 61 has come to an end. I did 17 miles today, leaving Wilson Creek Shelter, and actually came down to Jennings Creek, and there's a small little state road right there, and you can call this campground. They'll come down and pick you up. I didn't have to do that. There was a really nice family, mom and her two sons hiking in front of me just in the last 100 yards as we came down to that creek, and they asked me if I was a thru hiker, and I said, yeah, I am. And they asked where I was headed, and I told them I was looking for this campground, and they were kind enough. They had a car parked there, and they just drove me down here to the campground, which is 1.5 miles, so I didn't have to wait on my shuttle. So yeah, typical trail magic. Just, you're just talking to someone and they want to help hikers out, and they brought me down here, and they live over in Lynchburg, and I think the woman was telling me that she just published her first book, so congratulations to her. So yeah, started getting into a lot of vistas today. Yeah, you kind of start crossing over the Blue Ridge Parkway. I think you saw that highway up there some today, and start getting some really good views down below in the valleys, and that will persist really as I move on through northern Virginia into the Shenandoahs coming up in a week or so. The big thing today was the peaks of Otter. There's like 3 really high peaks out there in some of those shots I was taking, and yeah, it was just really, really pretty. It was a fairly cold day this morning when we left. Like I said, it was around 40 to 41. I think the low was 37 degrees last night, but it was really windy. I think you saw me. I was actually crossing the Blue Ridge Parkway. I could barely, keep my cap and hat on. It was really blowing today. I think the gusts were like 25 or 30 miles an hour yet again. But beautiful day, just cooled off and got windy. So there you go. But the campground here was nice. It was one of the other hikers I was talking to back in Daleville had said, check this out. They do have a restaurant here. I was able to get a sandwich and adult beverage, and yeah, got a shower and cleaned up. So that was great. So staying here at it's called a Middle Creek Campground, about 1.5 miles back to the AT, and they'll shuttle us back in the morning. And I'll keep going. The huge climb tomorrow. I think it's 3,000 or 4,000 foot ascent tomorrow. It's only a 14-mile day because of that, and I'll stay in a shelter when I get up there. But yeah, it's gonna be a big climb tomorrow for sure. That's about it. You know, some of the other hikers that I've seen way back, even in North Carolina before the Smokies, are here tonight as well. So I caught up with some of those people. But all in all, it's good. Still feeling healthy. And yeah, thanks again for watching. And we will see you tomorrow morning. Bye, y'all.